All right, so our first Algebra 1 video, you'll have to you'll have to kind of pay attention as we go through the problems, write things down, and then the videos are there for you to use later. And if I may need you to be out of the room if you can't control yourself. Okay, thanks. Okay. All right, so today we're going to do absolute value inequalities. So we're going to combine absolute values with less than or greater than. So here's the way they kind of work. If I have the absolute value of x is less than or equal to some number, let's say 2, I don't actually solve this because it's an absolute value. I graph it. So I make a number line, and this says that the distance from 0 to x has to be less than 2. So that 2 needs to be a part of my graph, and its opposite needs to be a part of the graph. So I put 2 and -2 on the graph. Because there is a less than sign with no line under it, I put an open circle. And because it is a less than, I shade, oops, there we go, get my shading tool here. I shade in between the 2 and the -2. If instead I have the absolute value of x is greater than or equal to, and let's do 3 this time. On my number line, I'll want that 3 and its opposite, -3. And on this one, I have a line under the greater than sign, so I'll put closed dots. And because it is greater than rather than less than, I shade beyond the 3 and the -3. Okay? So if you see a less than, guys. If you see a less than, your shading goes in the middle. If you see a greater than, your shading goes to the outsides. So let's try a few of these. These are from page 401. Three through 8 are going to be the problems where we'll do the absolute value, and then 42 to 53 will be review problems. For 42 to 53, yes, you can grab a piece of graph paper. I'll have some of that out in a minute. Okay. Problem 3 says absolute value of x. Absolute value of x is less than 4. Okay. Carrie, you need to turn around. No, to the front of the classroom. Shh. Thank you. Okay, here we go. The 4 goes on my graph, and the -4 goes on my graph. Do I put an open circle or a closed circle over the 4 and the -4? Open. Okay. Now the hard part is to decide whether I shade in between or on the outsides. Look at the example. When did I shade in between and when did I shade on the outsides? And okay, because this is a less than, The less thans are shaded inside. Okay. Let's try another one. Number 4 says absolute value of x is greater than or equal to 3. Shh. I make my number line. The 3 and the -3 have to be on the graph. Do I get open or closed circles over them? There's a line under the greater than sign, so those are closed. Am I shading in between like I did on the previous problem, or the outsides? Oops, I grabbed the wrong thing. Here we go. Outsides. Okay. All right. Let's try another one. Okay. Problem number 5 says the absolute value of h, but we'll just do that on a number line, is greater than 4.5. What numbers do I need to make sure I have on my number line? -4.5, 0, and +4.5. What kind of circles do I need over the negative and +4.5? Open. And do I shade the outsides like I did on the previous problem, or do I shade in between? Is this the same kind of direction as on the previous problem? So this is a greater than. The greater thans get shaded on the outside. Okay, next problem is the absolute value of p is less than 1.3. Shh. Okay, the one, shh, darling, turn around. The 1.3 needs to go on the graph. What's the other number that needs to go on the graph? -1.3. Okay. Closed circles or open circles? Insides or outsides? This one is pointing the other direction. This one is a less than. So the less thans are inside. Number 7, less than 3/5. Okay. Shh. What numbers need to go on the graph? -3/5. +3/5. Can you stop, please? Open or closed circles? Open. Insides or outsides? Inside. It's a less than. It's an inside. And the last one, 1 3/4.